Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits and all of that good stuff. Okay. It's hump day, y'all. I'm sure a lot of y'all are very excited about it being hump day, but it is hump day nonetheless. Okay. Happy hump day to all y'all. And I apologize for the delay. I know I put this thing up and you guys expect me to hop on immediately, but I like to leave a little bit of time for you guys to get the updates, get you guys acquainted in the chat, etc. Get you guys warmed up before we get everything started. So I'm not going to be hopping on unless it's like something breaking and I got to jump into it really quickly and all that. A lot of times I'm going to be letting it simmer for a little bit before we jump into the news or into the conversation. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, and I needed my coffee, y'all. I definitely needed my coffee. Let me keep it a buck, okay? It's been a long morning. Very, very early morning and a very long one indeed. So I definitely needed my coffee for the day. But anyway, we do have some breaking news. That there's some things that we got to talk about. There's some things we need to talk about. Okay. This story is getting thicker than a Snicker. Real talk. This story is getting thicker than a Snicker. And of course, I'm going to ask you guys, is she lying? Was she involved? Is she covering for her man's pig vomit? Those are the questions I have for you guys as we continue on. Let me know in the chat what your thoughts are. Okay, continuing on. So before we get into everything, please do me a favor. All right, let's get this thing started. Let's get this party started quickly. Okay, please and thank you. By simply hitting that join button down below, hitting that like button down below. Okay, crush it, send it past 300 likes as you start to file in. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay, please and thank you. If you're watching on Facebook, because I know y'all are watching on other platforms as well, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that reaction button. Okay, wherever you're watching the show. Facebook, hit that reaction button if you're watching down below. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or X, okay? Twitch, all the other places that I'm simulcasting all at the same time, okay? And of course, if you're watching on my main channel on YouTube, please be sure to crush that subscribe button, okay? We talk about a lot of stuff on this show. Everything from true crime to pop culture and everything in between. And we definitely have got to have a conversation about this as a family, okay? So hit that subscribe button, hit that join button down below, become a member, join my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. So the ticker going that way as we speak down below. Show some love if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated, okay? And check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there as well. Okay. So, without further ado, we got to get into this conversation. We got things we got to talk about, guys. Of course, do all those things if you can. Follow, subscribe, react, and all of that good stuff. We do appreciate it. I'm multiple people. It's just me. But I do really appreciate it, okay? But we got to get into this conversation. And now, let me take this down. Okay, we got to, as you guys already know, first off, let me just pull up this beautiful young girl, okay? Madeline Soto. Let me just pull up her face really quick. Last week, she went missing the day after her birthday, the day after her 13th birthday, okay? She went missing, or her birthday, her 13th birthday party, allegedly. Okay. She went missing when she was dropped off, when they said, okay, that she was dropped off a few blocks away from her school. Okay. Last person to ever see her was Stefan or Stefan. You know, he shouldn't he doesn't deserve the fanciness of Stefan. Okay. This is why I call him pig vomit. I'm just going to keep it real. All right. And I know some of you guys don't like it, but at the same time, he's not a likable person. So I'm not gonna give him Stefan. Okay. He just doesn't deserve it. So his name is Pig Vomit from this point on. But according to Pig Vomit, he dropped her off in a parking lot of a church. Okay. Because she was saying that she was too embarrassed to be in his car, which, by the way, his car ain't a bad car. It ain't a bad looking car. Okay. It wasn't like he was driving some jalopy. It wasn't some type of hoopty or anything of that sort. Okay. So, interesting thing to say as an excuse. Oh, she was too embarrassed to be pulled up in my decent looking car. So I dropped her off a few blocks away so that she could walk her way to school. Okay. Well, that was the last time that anyone saw or heard from this young girl ever again. Now, of course, family, the parents were, reported her missing. Now, of course, there's certain reports basically saying that the mom didn't report her missing until that evening. But of course, the mom says she reported her missing right as soon as she found out that she was missing when she went to go pick her up from school. And apparently they don't use the same protocol as calling, like the school doesn't have a protocol of calling and notifying parents if their kids do not show up to school. So this woman pulls up to school at the end of the day, allegedly finding out her daughter's not there. So she quickly, at least in the reports, interviews at least, she says she went and called 911. We see in reports that we've looked at a million times before saying something completely different, saying that police didn't show up and meet up with her until 8 p.m. that evening at the actual school, on school grounds, not at the home, but on school grounds. We have sat here thinking about this like crazy, trying to understand what the hell is going on. But then something odd happened throughout the course of this, of the reporting of this story, them doing interviews, etc., all that stuff. Something very strange happened. Something like an interview that we all watched. Yeah, I have it frozen on this part because I think it's very interesting now that we're getting more information and the news, as this bombshell that happened yesterday evening. And of course, I wasn't able to get on here with you guys. So I wanted to break this story with you guys and talk about it with you guys as a family. But now when I see this still, I feel a little different now. Yesterday I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, or the other day, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, nah, I don't know. She might be a victim too. She could be finessed. She might be dickmatized. All this stuff. Never underestimate the power of a man's stroke game, right? Or at least the way that they finesse an individual, right? But then, like I said, gave her much room, because I can only imagine what any person is going through when they are a part of a missing person story. It's quick how people will jump and turn you into the villain without any merit, without any information, etc. Right? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe she could very well be a victim to this whole thing. It not only could it be Madeline, but also her as well, being a victim. Now I'm kind of retracting that. I'm just taking that all the way back, because I'm going to keep it a buck. Now there's more information out here that tells us different. So let's take a look at this article. You know, it really bothers me that this young girl, that this happened to this young girl. We, of course, are finding out new information, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, in regards to the relationship between Pig Vomit and Madeline Soto. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Okay? It's mind-blowing. But then what's even more mind-blowing is the fact that Mama could very well have been lying. And she could have been lying for a long time. Okay? And also another thing, I think 5-0 is watching YouTube. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. They watching YouTube. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. We could take W. You know what I'm saying? They watching our YouTube shows. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. I guarantee you, they're watching they're watching somebody's show. Okay, and I'm not sitting here saying 5-0 didn't do their due diligence. They wouldn't pursue this if they didn't see any inconsistencies as well. But who are the people out here putting out the information? Who are the people out here saying, yo, there's inconsistencies in this whole thing? The way she talks, the way she's been saying things. She says one thing here, she says something over here differently. Plenty of YouTube channels have been breaking this mother lover down. Not only this channel, okay? And then after everybody and beyond the deep blue sea has been talking about the inconsistencies. Literally. Anybody who's been covering this story, inconsistencies, they're putting it on social media. They're putting it in the, they're sliding in the group chats on Facebook, etc. Come on now. Now, I mean, obviously, hopefully they would have picked this up or caught this early, right? That's what I would hope for, that they would catch this early. But still, we've been talking about this for a while now, haven't we? As a fam, people have been talking about this for a minute. How there doesn't make any sense. The inconsistencies from one interview to the next, and so on. Right? Okay. So I feel like, hey, 5-0 has been watching YouTube, and it's okay. It's okay, baby. You know what I mean? This is what we do. You feel me? Okay? So let's continue. Let's get into this, okay? So they're saying the story that Jennifer Soto, the mother, okay, gave law enforcement is not lining up with investigators, with what investigators know. Now, I just want to say, congratulations. You know what I mean? Like, good job, investigators. They have now finally figured it out. Okay. Finally. Like I said, we've been talking about this for a minute. Shoot. I had friends, other true crime friends, true crimies coming through, throwing timestamps and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's, you know what I mean? There's inconsistencies here and here and here. And let's go all the way back to this one there and timeline this. I mean, come on, man. We've been on this for days, guys, for days. But let's continue. Let's look at this article here. And we got a video I'm going to share with you guys as well. All right. So Channel 9 learned Tuesday that the story Jennifer Soto, the mother of 13-year-old Madeline Soto, gave to law enforcement does not line up with what investigators know. Like I've been saying, and I even wrote it down in the comments section, or in the box down below. I said the timeline ain't timelining. That's it. The timeline ain't timelining. Okay? And they're finally seeing that. So, on a one-on-one interview with Jennifer Soto, okay, on February 27th, a day after she had been reporting missing, Soto told Channel 9 that her boyfriend, Pig Vomit, who is now the prime suspect in her daughter's demise, had taken her to school. Okay. She said that the last conversation she had with her daughter happened to be the night before her disappearance. But a report Channel 9 obtained Tuesday shows that Soto told deputies that she saw her daughter the morning of that girl's disappearance. Okay? Now, what's very interesting about this, okay? And of course, I'm sitting here going like, what? So in the interview that we all saw, she said, yeah, she didn't get to go to the birthday party, which is sus. She didn't get to go to her own daughter's 13th birthday party on Sunday because she had to work. Again, sus. When she came back home, apparently, according to Jennifer Soto, Madeline was happy, talking about the presents she got, talked about the party. She apparently went straight to the bedroom or went straight to getting ready for bed and went straight to bed. She didn't go to her phone, didn't go to her computer, didn't do a doggone thing. She went straight to the bed and got dressed and went straight to bed and went to sleep. And that's the last that she saw of her. The next morning, she was saying, we. Remember how she was saying, we did this? Well, it was later on. She goes, so actually, my boyfriend or my partner, Pig Vomit, dropped her off at school. And that's the last that he saw of Madeline, right? Let's not forget that. All right. But now they're saying that she apparently saw her the morning before she went to school. Inconsistencies, y'all. Inconsistencies, y'all. Like I said, this is no bueno. This is no bueno. And then the other thing is that there's more information about, there's more disturbing information out here that is telling me something else too. The possibility, remember, just 48 hours ago, I'm not kidding. Just 48 hours ago, I'm like, I think we need to give her a chance. She could be the victim too. Now I'm like, oh no, I think she might have been a part of this, dog. Like oh my damn. And oh my damn. Okay. One thing I do want to point out, so we can all have this in the back of our minds, okay? Madeline did show up to her birthday party. She was alive at that birthday party. So anything that could have transpired, anything that did transpire to her demise, to this tragedy, happened between the time. Now we expand it all the way back. It goes back to Sunday night. It could have happened between Sunday night and all the way up to right before she's supposed to be at school. Just remember that. The timeline now expands backwards. You can add a few more hours, a lot more hours, several more hours. From the time she came back home from the birthday party to the time that Pig Vomit was dumping her book bag, her belongings, where she was seen in the car. Of course, they're saying that she was not, this is what we're all speculating, that she was not alive when she was seen in the car. But between the end of the party to about the time he was dropping that stuff in the dumpster, tragedy happened between those times. And that's a very, very, very big amount of time. But the mom's sitting there saying, yeah, we had conversations. I saw her the night before, right? I saw her the night before. She got to stop looking at me like that. I mean, stop. No. Anyway, it's very distracting. But what happened when she went home? Now's the question. What actually happened when she went home? Was she already gone? And then she didn't Was she already gone and she found out and then was like, I'm willing to I'm a ride or die? I'm willing to risk it all for my dude? Or did it really happen that morning? Did she witness this, or did she have her hand in the unaliving of her own daughter? I felt like a little Nancy Grace right there. That was crazy. I felt like a little Nancy Grace there. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I felt a little Nancy Grace. You know what I mean? But real talk. Did she have her hand at killing Maddie? That's the question I'd like to know. That's the question I'd like to know. Because something is not right here. Timeline ain't timelining, and now 5-0. Good job. You get a treat. Finally figured it out as well, and they're getting on it as well. Let's continue. And here it is. Remember, anything is possible. But why would she change the story, the timeline? Why would she say in one initial report, why would she say, yeah, I was there, I saw her the morning of, and then another report, she pushes back and is trying to disconnect, trying to distance herself from the situation by saying, oh, I didn't see her the next morning. I only saw her the night before. Why would she do that? And you can forget. You can forget sitting here saying, oh, I was nervous. Oh, I was this, and this. No. Not when you're sitting there talking about your own child. You don't know what happened to them. You don't know where they are. You don't just sit here and just change that. That's huge. That's massive. Especially, let's be real, especially if you're innocent. You don't change your story. But if you are a bold-faced liar, then damn right, you're changing it. And there will be inconsistencies in your story. This to me says, tell me you were involved without telling me you were involved. And the thing is I lean on the fact that this report was made before the interview with this investigator, which I'm still trying to find the actual initial report. So if anybody has it, please send it my way. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find the actual written report, but it does say in that report that she says, yes, I saw her first thing in the morning and I saw her getting dressed. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue. No one has been charged in Madeline's demise, but investigators are looking into who knew what when. That means they're reviewing initial interviews of the couple and ones conducted later on. Sources told Channel 9's Shannon Butler that the statements about the timeline of Madeline Soto's disappearance have not always been consistent, which is a huge bloody problem, all right? Huge problem. It's a huge problem, y'all. That's a huge, huge problem. Because if you are innocent and you had nothing to do with that person's disappearance, loved one, friend, whatever, the story always stays the same. The story remains the same. It never changes. But once you change it 15 different times and you got a report saying one thing, you got an interview saying another thing, you got another interview saying something else, that's when you're going to have some people going, hey, they're going to slide onto your timelines on Facebook and start harassing the F out of you. Because unfortunately, Jenny, sweetheart, you made that bed. You made that mother-loving bed because of adding the inconsistencies into the reports. Now I got to ask this though too, because this is the other question I had as well. I got so many questions. But the text message that Madeline allegedly sent to her friend saying, I'm going to go live out in the woods, right? When I turn 13. Did she really send that? Or did one of those two write that themselves to try to throw people off? Again, I'm wondering what the hell. Okay? I'm really, really wondering. Real talk. And yeah, that might be me. That might be me reaching. But at this point, with all the inconsistencies, with her sitting there saying one thing, now you got 5-0 actually looking at her reports and seeing what up, though. It's hard not to have that tinfoil hat on and start wondering about the speculation about the text messages, yo. Think about that for a second. Let that simmer. Ain't that that's messed up? And it could very well be a possibility, y'all. That's scary. That's very, very scary. All right. Let's continue on. Says, because I didn't know there was more, so we're going to get into it. Okay. Jennifer Soto told Channel 9 last week that the conversation that she had with her daughter was about her 13th birthday party the night before her disappearance. I told her good night, and yeah, that was it. All right. But according to documents, Sunday was not the last time Jennifer Soto saw her daughter. Newly obtained documents show that the girl's mother told deputies on February 26th that she saw her daughter getting dressed for school at 8 a.m. Okay, that is a big freaking deal. Big deal. Huge red flag. So, on Monday, she did that. And then, of course, Pig Vomit took her to school. But since the initial reports was taken, Channel 9 learned from Orange County Sheriff Mina that Madeline was likely gone earlier than that. Like I said, even the detective, or even the sheriff is sitting here going, well, looks like there may have been foul play, and she could have met her demise that night, that Sunday night after her birthday party. Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school, which we already saw in a news conference before. Instead, we believe she was already gone at the time, which, of course, she was allegedly seen in his car as Pig Vomit was driving around, dropping things off, discarding her remains, and allegedly also changing out a flat tire. Okay? Channel 9 has reviewed statements from Pig Vomit and Jenny to try to piece together what happened in the final hours of Madeline Soto's life. We dropped her off at school, close to the school. This is what she said on the Channel 9 interview. She walked the rest of the way. But in the same interview, she said this: I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. Remember, in reports, he's called stepdad. And then there's other reports where he's being called the boyfriend. It's very confusing, but I think there's something really messed up and sinister going on, which we are going to be talking about here very shortly. Detectives believe that Madeline Soto was likely gone early Monday because the surveillance footage recorded at the Kissimmee apartment complex where the family lived showed Stearns dumping her belongings in a dumpster at 7:35 a.m. At 8:19 a.m., video shows the girl in Pig Vomit's vehicle, and she believed to already be gone in that video. Kissimmee Police Department has taken over the investigation into the girl's demise since the sheriff's news conference. Sources tell Channel 9 that Jenny has been interviewed multiple times by detectives from 2 agencies and that they are looking closely at all the statements she made. Now, one thing I want to say, I honestly don't think, I mean, again, the span of time between when they got home from her birthday party to the time where he is shown driving around with her in the back in his car unalive, I know that they're saying, oh, they think that something happened probably in the morning. I honestly think this happened at night. That's what I think. Now, of course, I have nothing to use for proof. I have no proof of this. But there's a part of me that feels that I feel like this happened in the nighttime. The tragedy happened in the nighttime. They had the night to figure things out, gather some things, make it look like she went off to school. I don't think that it was, she lost her life at 7:00 in the morning and they just figured, oh, well, let's gather some stuff really quick and make it look like she went to school. I think that's something that was premeditated, thought up overnight. The tragedy happened. Instead of phone calling police, doing what they should have done, okay? Actually, what they should have done is just kept their hands to themselves and let this young girl live and breathe. But of course, that's not the situation. But if tragedy ensued, but when the tragedy did happen, I'm sorry, I think that it was a crap. I don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We need to think this over. And then they thought about it. I don't think it's and then they said, well, she got school tomorrow, so we got to make it look like she went to school. So I really think that they had all that night to sit there, ponder, plot this whole thing out, grab her bag, etc., left her cell phone behind. They sat there and they thought about this stuff. Maybe there was a text message. God knows when that text message was made, right? Maybe that text message was made that evening to set this whole thing up. Like I said, I don't think that these two are brilliant individuals. Look at how inconsistent Jenny is. Jenny's not very consistent. So I feel like they both sat, and like I said, this is speculation. This is just my theory. Okay. And I like I said, I could be absolutely mother loving wrong. And 9 times out of 10, I'm wrong. See, I still got that other 1 out of 10 times I'm right. But 9 times out of 10, I'm wrong. But that's my theory, that I don't think that they're the sharpest tools in the shed. Okay. And clearly, Jenny ain't the smartest either, because she keeps changing the story. Now, what's interesting too, what's interesting too, I got things, we got things to look at. Okay. We got to take a little trip down memory lane in a second. Okay. But first, I want to play this news clip for you guys that we just, like, basically from what we just read here. Okay. Because this is some crazy stuff. Oh, also, this is also really, really crazy to me too. And I just want to give you guys a little bit of a teaser about this as well. Hold on 1 second. Just pulling this up so you guys can see this too, which is absolutely disgusting and messed up as well. Okay. I've been busy, man. So I haven't been able to do a whole lot of pop-up videos lately. Trust me, we're going to be back in the swing of things on that as well. But let's take a look at this though too. Remember, this happened like just the other day. Okay. So some police officer had the audacity of posting this young girl's photo. One of her photos of her dead body, I'll just say it, on social media. And apparently they are now investigating into this officer right now as we speak, because who does that? Who posts a photo of a little that is gone? And I haven't seen the photo, nor do I want to see the photo, dag nabbit. But who posts something like that, man? Sorry for the left turn, but I just needed to say that really quick so you know for a fact I'm keeping an eye on things. Trust and believe. But who on God's green earth does this stuff at all? Especially you part of law enforcement. You 5-0, you know better than this. The hell's wrong with you? Who does that, man? Real quick, And apparently she was in a birthday suit too. I got to use code words, guys. I'm sorry. This is just how we have to roll in these streets. But apparently she was in a birthday suit too, and he posted it on his social media. Again, how does somebody do that? Real quick, Bain asks FDLE, sorry, to investigate how photo of body was posted to Lopez's social media. Okay, so Osceola County Sheriff's Office says they are cooperating and being transparent with FDLE. They still have not said anything about if they're investigating. We have just confirmed Bain is asked FDLE to investigate. So Ninth Judicial Circuit State Attorney Bain's office told Channel 9 on Tuesday afternoon that he has asked the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to investigate how the photo of the body, 13-year-old Madeline Soto, was released over the weekend. The photo was posted on the Sheriff Lopez's personal Instagram. Like, how do you post this on your own personal Instagram? Less than 24 hours after law enforcement found her remains in a rural area near St. Cloud. How does somebody go from, okay, I got, one other thing. Sorry, even before I even ask that question, how do you even have it on your phone if that's how you posted it? Because not every day do you see people going to their computers and posting their photos off of their computer. Most of the time you're posting onto Instagram. Most of the time you're posting those things through your phone. So how does this man have this in his phone in the first doggone place? In fact, not how, why? And then how does he slip, and fall, hitting the enter button, the post button, posting this unthinkable photo on your IG? How does one do that? Shame on you. And it makes me think something even more disgusting and sinister. I hate to say it like that, but that's a huge way to muck it up. That's a huge way to muck up, first off, and that's a huge way to muck up the investigation and potential court proceedings. That kind of information, those kinds of photos should not be out there, period. It doesn't matter if she was 31 or 13. It doesn't matter. That kind of content should not be out there for the general public to see. That is information, that is photos, that is sensitive content that needs to be used for their investigation when they go into trial, etc. This is ridiculous. All right? The photo shows a body, well, it says dressed in a sweatshirt. Okay, that pig vomit said Soto was last seen in. Lopez said he accidentally posted the photo or the image while sharing a post about him meeting with senior citizens. What? Like what? Yeah, great seeing the old ones of our town. Let me post this photo of a deceased little girl. Huh? Oops. I was at a living, I was at a nursing home enjoying the day. Talking about, they make the best Arnold Palmers over here. And felt moved to post that selfie. And while that was happening, oops, I just happened to post a photo of Madeline gone. They better be doing some sort of investigation into this sheriff, because no man or woman in blue should be out here doing this kind of thing. No mistake like this should ever exist, period. A mistake like this should never even remotely exist. But a little bit of a left turn. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I want to share this news clip with you guys because we got to take a look at this. Again, this has to do with 5-0 doing their due diligence and looking into what Madeline Soto's mom has been saying and not been saying, right? Let's take a look.
First, breaking in the death of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Why prosecutors are now calling for an investigation into this local sheriff, and how the story Madeline's mother provided law enforcement doesn't line up with what investigators know. We spoke one.
Sorry, I'm sorry. This photo itself, or this right here, this ish right here, big problem to me. Like to me, it translates like she is totally forgiving him of his sin if he was the one who did it. But it also gives me a vibe like we did this together, and we're gonna fight, and we're gonna get away with this together. I got you, you got me. We lean on each other because we got each other, right, honey? You know what I'm saying? Now I see it in a completely different way. Now I see it in a completely different way. This is so crazy, yo. This is it's insane, but I think it's deeper than that, y'all. I think this is deeper than that, man. And I'm explaining in a second. Oh my God, it's so insane, yo. It's so insane. It's so insane. But guys, do me a favor before we continue. All right. Hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Hit that like button, crush it. Hit that like button. Let's get it back. Let's get it up to 1K really quick. I saw a comment and I'm going to say that really quick. And I got a couple super chats too. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Okay. Be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. Of course, hit that join button. Check out pascalmerch.com. CMD just said this. Yeah. Pascal, you didn't believe it at first. Yeah, I didn't believe it at first. At first, I was skeptical, just like every other mother lover on this planet. You know what I mean? But then I was like, because I like to think that I have a heart of gold. I like to think I have a heart of gold. Okay? Yeah, heart of gold. There we go. I think I have a heart of gold from time to time. So I at least leave room for, benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, now that we have all this other stuff, now police is finally going, no, there's inconsistencies. Now I'm like, yeah, no, there's no room in my heart for this lady no more. Now I do believe there's something much more sinister going on here. Okay. And yeah, I really think that this is deeper than what I'm leading off or giving off right now, which we're going to get into in a second. Okay. Oh, real quick. Sorry. We're going to continue. I promise. Skinny, Skinny. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nurse Janice, thank you so much for being a member for the past 15 months. Just as you said, well done. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for the support. Mimi, thank you so much for the 195 Swiss francs. I appreciate it. And Jackie Sue, thank you so much for gifting 1 membership. See, sharing is caring, y'all. Okay. We built this city on rock and roll. Okay. A house is not a home. I don't know. Some Luther Vandross. Okay. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much for the support. Okay. It takes a village. That's what the other one I was going to say. I appreciate it. Let's continue, guys. But this is gross. Hey.
Law enforcement doesn't line up with what investigators know. We spoke one-on-one with Jennifer Soto last Tuesday. Good afternoon. I'm Darlene Jones.
And I'm Greg Wormuth. At that point, her daughter Madeline had been missing for 1 day. She told us that Stephen Stearns, her boyfriend and now the prime suspect in Madeline's death, had taken the teenager to school. She said the last conversation she had with the 13-year-old was the night before. But this report we got a hold of today shows she told deputies she saw her daughter the morning of her disappearance. Channel 9 investigative reporter Shannon Butler has been digging into the details of this case. She joins us live in studio. And Shannon, that's not the only thing you noticed in this new report.
Greg, no one has been charged in Madeline Soto's death, but we do know investigators are looking into who knew what and when. And some of that means looking at those initial interviews of the couple and the ones later on.
Now, I got a question because, I got to hop in and out of this because of fair use. But one of the questions I got is, what else do they need to figure out? Why hasn't there been any charge in connection to her demise? Why hasn't Pig Vomit even caught a charge on this yet? Something to think about. That's the one thing I'm still trying to figure out. Why hasn't he even caught a charge? Is he the one who actually did the M? Or did Mama do the M? Was it by her hands? And that's why they're kind of slow on charging Pig Vomit, even though Pig Vomit is terrible. Something to think about as we continue.
Sources tell me the statements about the timeline are not consistent. Jennifer Soto told us last week that the last conversation she had with her daughter was about her 13th birthday party the night before Maddie disappeared.
I told her good night, and yeah, that was it.
But according to documents, Sunday night was not the last time Soto saw Maddie. New documents show that Maddie's mom told deputies on February 26th that she saw her daughter getting dressed for school at 8 o'clock that morning.
Now, hold on. I want to roll this back. Hold on. I'm going to pause this.
New documents show that Maddie's mom told deputies on February 26th.
Says February 26th, approximately, if you guys can read this with me, 1948 hours, I, Deputy Joseph, responded to such and such, Orlando, Orange County, Florida, regarding a missing juvenile. While on the scene, the step parent, see what I'm saying? Step parent, which is weird, partner, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, who the F is this dude, right? Pig Vomit, stated that he dropped his daughter off at school. And this is all important information. The reason why I keep on emphasizing these pieces is because it's all going to come back together here in just a second, okay? Or in just a little bit. Just to remind you, he's referring to himself as the stepfather. They're not married. From my understanding, they are not married, okay? Then also, he still was referring to Madeline as his daughter. So he says, dropped his daughter off at school. And when the mother went to the school, the daughter was not there. The parents searched within the neighborhood and places where the daughter may have gone, which is what I was assuming why they took so long to maybe call 911, right? Went to some spots that she may have gone to, right? The parents could provide a location where the daughter may have been, but yielded negative results when deputies checked the area. The juvenile was entered into the FCIC and the EMER or EME resource, I think that's what that is, as missing disabled. Okay. My investigation revealed the following. When I arrived on the scene, I spoke with the mother, Jennifer, Jenny, all right, who gave me verbal and sworn written testimony. Let me say this again. This is where she could seriously see some issues here. She gave a verbal and sworn written testimony, just so you know. So this is what she said, under oath, okay? On February 26, 2023, at approximately 8 a.m. in the morning, Jennifer observed, quote unquote, in parentheses, missing Madeline Soto getting dressed for school. That is huge. Stepfather, Pig Vomit, took Madeline to school, dropping her off near the intersection of Town Loop Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane at approximately 8:30 a.m. Jennifer went to Hunters Creek Middle School In an attempt to pick up Madeline at approximately 1600 hours, when she discovered, it was like 4 o'clock, it looks like, when she discovered Madeline did not make it to school. In an effort to find Madeline, Jennifer looked through the neighborhoods near Madeline's school and went to her mother's business office located at such and such Village Park Drive. I later spoke with Stefan or Pig Vomit, who stated in a verbal and sworn written statement the following. At approximately 8:25 a.m., 8:40 a.m., Pig Vomit dropped off Madeline approximately 1 block away from her school. Why 1 block away from her school? That's still just so weird to me. Regardless if you got a hoopty or not, still doesn't make any sense. Pig Vomit watched Madeline leave his vehicle and walk towards the direction of the school. As Pig Vomit was driving away, he could see what appeared to be Madeline searching through her book bag. He did not think of anything. He did not think of anything of it due to Madeline usually look through her bag to find headphones so she could put them in before going to school. Pig Vomit began heading home when he attempted to stop for a vape juice at a nearby vape shop, but determined it was closed. So Pig Vomit went home to Kissimmee. Once Pig Vomit was home for about an hour, he went back out to retrieve a vape juice and then run errands. Pig Vomit stated he returned home and stayed home at approximately about 4:30 p.m. So let me just say this. One, of course he vapes. No disrespect to anybody who vapes, but it's so bad for you guys. All right. But okay, teach their own. But still, they both said in verbal and sworn written testimony or written statements, testimony. Okay. So no matter what, they can get in trouble just for that. Jenna could get in trouble for this, just like Pig Vomit. He's already in trouble. He's already locked up for stuff that he, for those unbelievable for the unbelievable content that's on his phone already, right? That was found on his phone. But what he says is, oh yeah, I dropped her off here. I dropped her off a block away from the school. I could see in the rear view that she was rummaging through her bag. Maybe she was just looking for her headphones. No big deal. You know what I mean? This is what she usually does. She'll put in put in her headphones, listen to Taylor Swift as she's walking to school. Okay, fine. Whatever. Right? No big deal. But the thing is all of this is a lie. All of it. Pig Vomit's account is a full bold-faced lie because she never was dropped off at all. Okay? They already have surveillance proof positive showing that he did not do that at all. She was already gone when she left the house. Her life had already been taken before she even got put into that car. Mama is also lying as well because she says in here at approximately 8 a.m. in her first initial interview, her first initial sworn, verbal, and written testimony, she says at 8 a.m., she saw her daughter getting ready for school, alive. Then we see in these other interviews, she's saying something completely different. Oh, I went to bed, and that when she went to bed, that was the last time I saw her. One thing is for sure, though, the 13th birthday party that she had actually did exist, actually did happen, and Madeline actually showed up to that party alive. That's the only thing so far in everything that they have said that is actually the truth. But both of them, both mother lovers, are lying, and I'm wondering why. Let's continue.
That she saw her daughter getting dressed for school at 8 o'clock that morning and that her boyfriend then took the teen to school. But
just look at this. Look at this. It's some Bonnie and Clyde type ish. It's some Natural born killers type stuff to me. Now I'm seeing a different vibe here. Like she is so stand by your man. Like that's so disgusting, y'all. Why would she, if she did not do anything to this girl, why would you lie for this man? Why would you lie on that grenade for this man? Please explain that to me.
Since that initial report was taken, we learned from the Orange County Sheriff that Maddie was likely dead earlier than that.
Yep.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day.
Channel 9 has been going through statements from Stephen Stearns and Soto trying to piece together what happened in the last few hours of the little girl's life, starting with our interview of the couple. Her mom told us last week.
we dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
But in that same interview, then said,
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. But yeah.
detectives believe Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because a video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Stearns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Stearns' vehicle believed to be deceased. Since then, the case has moved to Kissimmee Police, and sources tell us that Soto has been interviewed multiple times by detectives at 2 agencies and that they are looking closely at all the statements she's made.
Okay. Real quick, y'all. I'm curious if there is a level of mental health. Like there's a mental health issue. I mean, clearly you got to be a little bit off. Okay. I'm sorry. If you're willing to stand, like willing to risk it all for a person who allegedly took the life of your daughter, of your kin. I'm sorry. There's something off. I mean, and we can agree to disagree on that. That's fine. But to me, it seems like there's something really not right here. Then also the externals. Let's talk about these externals. And obviously, I'm not a behavioral expert. I'm not a one of those experts that analyzes people's gestures and how things are done. But take a look at this. This is just like we saw it all throughout this interview. We're just seeing her feet though now. We're now just seeing her feet. This is what I'm going to say.
Detectives believe Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because a video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Stearns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Stearns' vehicle believed to be deceased. Since then, the case has...
Okay, this ish right here. Now, I understand. Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you. Thank you, Mad Chatter. I'm not a body language expert. See, some of y'all have... Sometimes you guys need to be my dictionary, so I appreciate it, okay? Thank you. But yes, even this external, okay? And that's what I mean by, like, the things that people do to... that is just a big tell, right? Of somebody being anxious, somebody being nervous, somebody being scared, somebody being happy, sad, whatever, horny, whatever it may be, right? We all have our little things that we do to indicate how we're feeling externally, right? Physically with our hands and our bodies, right? To me, I feel like now this here could just be an act. That she could just be doing this because she feels like this is exactly how I'm supposed to be acting. I'm supposed to be shaking my foot. I'm supposed to be shaking my legs because it's supposed to show, oh, I'm anxious. The amount of anxiety that I have in my body right now is just, I just gotta get it out, right? But still, when I first saw this, I believed it. The only thing I thought was weird was that there were no tears coming out this woman's face. That I found to be weird. I mean, okay, we clearly know that this woman has been lying and we're wondering why she's been lying, right? But if you are going to go in, you go all the way in. You play the full part. Okay? You play the full part. You don't just dip your tippy toe into the pool, you jump all the way in. Okay? And for some odd reason, that didn't happen here. Seems a little disconnected. I even said it on the show. Sometimes not everybody cries. Not everybody reacts differently. But there's something weird about this now. There is something weird about it. But it also makes it worse when there's inconsistencies in her story at the same time. It's crazy. But let me continue.
To Kissimmee police, and sources tell us that Soto has been interviewed multiple times by detectives at 2 agencies, and that they are looking closely at all the statements she's made.
I'm so sorry. I just got to rewind this really quick. Can we just take a real quick look? You know what? This is for the fellas. This is solely for the fellas. I just need to share something with y'all. Okay, a little bit of a left turn, but it's just kind of a rule. All right, just a little bit of something, real quick. Promise we're going to continue on. This is just something, just a little rule of thumb for you guys. Okay, you see the man's hat right now. Okay, I just need to get this out the way. You see this man's hat. All right. Okay. I really do need to just. I'm so sorry. Fellas, when the back of your hat starts developing a bill itself, take a good look at it, y'all. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I'm done. Seriously, when it starts to block off the sun for you when you have it backwards, throw it away. When it rains outside and you still got it backwards and it's blocking the rain from your face, throw it out, man. Throw the damn thing out, okay? Oh my God. How is that even on still? Like, how does that stay on his head? Do you realize that a hard gust, a good, decent gust of wind just going up this way, the whole thing, whoo, gone. And then we'd be able to see his whole muggly ass pig vomit face. Yes, I said it. When your hat becomes a damn umbrella, okay? Even when you have it backwards, it just turns into an umbrella hat. Throw it away. Okay? And do not tell me, fellas, do not even tell me that's your lucky hat. Okay? Oh, it's the hat I work out in. If it does that, it shouldn't even be on your head no more. It's supposed to be fitted. Fitted. Okay, I'm done. Do you see it though? Do you see it though? Do you see it though? Okay. Just letting you know. You just learned something, fellas. From Uncle Pascal. All right. Don't be like pig vomit. Do not be like pig vomit. Okay.
They're looking closely at all the statements she's made, but officially, Kissimmee police won't comment. So this initial report also shows that Stearns told investigators that after Maddie got out of his car, she stopped to look in that book bag before he drove away. That same book bag was found actually in the dumpster. After her death, he then said he went home for about an hour after going to the vape store and running errands. He was home that day until 2:30. Detectives say a tip showed him changing a flat tire not far from where the little girl's body was found that afternoon.
All right, Shannon, it is starting to piece together. Thank you. We also spoke to suspect Stephen Stearns before he was arrested. He also told us he dropped off Madeline for school the morning of her disappearance.
Yeah.
She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said, thanks, love you too. What was it?
Again, law enforcement believes Stearns never drove Madeline to school and that she was already dead that morning.
Greg, also breaking this afternoon, the state attorney's office says it's asking the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to investigate how and why a photo that appeared to be a body in the woods was posted to the Osceola County Sheriff's personal Instagram page. The photo was posted less than 24 hours after investigators found Madeline Soto's body. Sheriff Marcos Lopez, who you see here, said he accidentally posted the image when sharing a post of himself visiting a senior citizens area.
How do you do that? I'm sorry. That is just so stupid. So stupid. And that's the thing. No one should be posting any type of content like that ever. And I'm saying this because it's important. Why would he have this kind of content on his phone? Easily accessible for him to post onto his social media like Instagram. And also, he's a public figure. Think about that for a second. This man's a public figure. And he's posting stuff like that. Whoops, I hit post. Was it really a mistake? Or no? Because that could really jeopardize the case, especially with any of these charges that they're trying to stick onto any of these two, because they both go into jail. Oh, trust, mama gonna get arrested. Hopefully that's by today. Okay. But this also makes me think of the story that we covered in Oklahoma, Henrietta, Oklahoma. I'm forgetting the name of the man right now. But that piece of trash that took the life of his wife, kids, the two teenagers that were spending the night on their land, right? And they're talking about there could have been a ring involved. I'm not sitting here saying that he's involved in some sort of ring, but at the same time, I'm wondering, why would you have that kind of content? Something sinister this way comes. That's what it feels like to me. It's crazy.
The sheriff's office has not said why the sheriff had the photo or who took it. Developments continue to come out in this tragic story in our community. For Eyewitness News at 5, we'll show you the impact Madeline's death has had on our entire
First breaking.
Okay. So you guys see that, okay? But there's more. There's more. We got more stuff we got to look at. Again, this ain't over. And it, again, it's very frustrating to me when we hearing any of this stuff, okay? And yes, I had to put in my PSA about them hats. That thing looked like a damn derby, okay? It's not supposed to look like a derby, guys. All right? Straight up. Okay, I'm trying to help the future boys and men's of the world, even ladies who are rocking those kind of hats. Don't ever do that. If it's fitted, it's supposed to be fitted. That's it. That's it. Okay. Even the raggedy ones that you wear, you work out in, and if it still fits, cool. But if it's sitting there like hanging on for dear life, let it go. Jackie, thank you so much for the 2. Do anyone know for a fact where Bio Dad is? That's one thing I heard through the grapevine, something about him being locked up, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how much of that is true, and I don't know how much of that is not true. Okay. And that's one frustrating part as well. The other thing too, though, I do want to bring up before we go into this next piece, and I'm pulling up this very disturbing photo in my personal opinion. But the thing is they're saying that the mother. Okay, so Gary Hughes investigates, which he's been killing it with these interviews with friends and family, or friends and ex-friends of pig vomits. Okay, and allegedly one of them said two things that popped up in my head, or popped up and took my attention. Okay. Did I say Gary? I meant Gray. Sorry. Gray Hughes. My bad. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Okay. Gray Hughes. Sorry. And if he's watching, lo siento. Okay. Mad respect for all your hard work, man. Seriously. But he's been going in. Okay. And doing some really great interviews. So I've listened to a couple of them. One of them was a guy that he did, that he was friends with Pig Vomit, knew him through some games that they were playing or something random. Just kind of nerdy stuff. No big deal on it. But he said two different things. One, he said that within months of him moving in with Jenny, he moved out and he was actually living with his mom at the time, at least up until, this is, of course, this is all from a friend. Okay. This is all from just an interview from a friend. So I don't know how factual it is, but he said that he was living with his friend. Okay. He was living with his parents. Okay. He was not living at that house. That's number one. And then the second thing that popped up that grabbed my attention in this interview that he had was that she is battling some sort of mental health issue. What it is, I don't know what it is. Okay. But he said something along the lines of something like she takes medication for something that has to do with mental health. Okay. That's the two things that popped up in my head, or popped up and I said, oh, red flag, right? And this is before I listened to that interview, before there was news about inconsistencies and whatnot. I just wanted to know a little bit more about Pig Vomit, right? And what his whole story was. Oh, let's not forget the other part, which we are going to get into in a second. The relationship that he actually was having, with Madeline. Allegedly, he was having a relationship with her for a long time, for years, in fact. And in fact, I'm going to share that with you guys in this news clip right here.
Now to some breaking news. According to records just obtained by West 2, the prime suspect in Madeline Soto's case sexually abused her for almost 2 years.
2 years. Was S.A.ing her for 2 whole years. So put that in your pipe and smoke on it for a while. Okay? Pretty crazy stuff. Let us continue.
Michelle Imparato joins us in studio with more on what we're learning. Michelle.
Well, Nancy and Stuart, Stefan Stearns is in jail on charges of sexual battery and possession of child pornography. And this afternoon, we obtained one of his search warrants. And according to the document, Stearns spoke with investigators after Soto was reported missing last week. He told investigators he was fine with them looking through his phone as part of the investigation, but told them he had accidentally performed a factory reset on it just the day she disappeared.
Right.
Now, despite that, investigators say they were able to find pictures and videos showing he raped Madeline repeatedly as far back as August of 2022 when she was 11.
Okay. Remember that I said that there was a part of the affidavit that I was not willing to read out loud? I mean, they basically said it right there. But there's content on his phone that is incredibly disgusting. It's beyond me. Now, I got a question, though. And this is what I was going to say earlier. It seems to be that maybe Mama knew for a while. There's a good possibility of that being actually true here. Let's just put that in our pipes and smoke on it for just a minute. Let's just simmer on that. And I know that's a visual and it's a thought that I can't even believe either. But what are the chances that she actually knew? And she allowed this type of relationship to transpire. Remember, it's being said that Mama has some mental health issues. What are the chances of her giving the thumbs up to this? The other question I have too is all that content that's on his phone. I can't even, I don't even want to ask the questions, but I got to ask the question. Who's taking the photos? Sure, there are selfie sticks. There are, apparatuses that you can use, like stands and stuff like that, tripods and whatnot that you can use to hold the camera in a certain way. But at the same time, who is helping making that content with him? Think about that for a second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that thought. I'm sorry for that visual. But on God, think about that for a second. He may not have operated alone when it came to making that content. Because there's photos or there's a description in the affidavit, in this paperwork, that tells me I don't know if he could successfully do what he was doing and take these photos in the way that they're describing certain things. For example, and I'm going to tread very, very lightly when I say this, and I'm going to say this is going to be code word city. But there's content on his phone that showed himself, if you get what I'm saying. And apparently he has a birthmark. So they were able to connect the dots and show that this birthmark that he had on his person, and of course the content that was on his phone, in which his body parts were a part of, were that of obviously, now we're understanding that was Madeline. But they were able to connect the dots and realize that, okay, this birthmark is actually his body parts. But again, the angle, etc., if it was shot or done in a certain way, how could he do that by himself? Now, I'm sure there's a lot that you can do by yourself. Okay? But I'm sure that there's certain angles, certain ways, etc., that may be a little bit difficult to do alone. I hate to say it like that, but that's the only way I can explain it, and it just doesn't make sense. Okay? And and again, I don't know if it's they just said it was like a pigmentation. Let's just say that. I'm calling it a birthmark. I've heard pigmentation, or what is said in the thing. And that pigmentation is very, very obvious. Okay? So to me, I look at that and I say, okay, she knew what was going on. She had to have. Or she found out that night. And then bad things went down. And maybe all the aggression and anger went towards her daughter. I don't know. But it just, like I said, seems like there was something going on, and she allowed that stuff to go down. At least that's how I'm breaking it down myself. And the fact that this is something that's been going on for years. And I know that there's ways in which a monster could be hiding in plain sight for years without you, like a mother or a loved one, ever knowing. There are ways of that happening. So that we can't sit there and go, that can't be possible. Yes, it's possible. There have been stories like, we've heard that story a million times. It's a tale as old as time. Plenty of survivors that have stepped forward and said, yes, my dad or my, uncle or whatever, and the family didn't even freaking know, right? Other loved ones were completely oblivious to this. So it is still a possibility that she did not know about X, Y, and Z. But she knows exactly what happened the night or the morning where her daughter took her last breath. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. But the way she's willing to die on this cross for this pig vomit of a human being still blows my mind. And that's one piece that I'm hoping she gets down to the nitty-gritty and tells police the truth. and tells them what they need to know as soon as possible. Let's continue. But for 2 years, he was terrorizing this little. That's insane. Okay? The devil is a liar, y'all. The devil is a liar.
And that the abuse happened in the house where he, Soto, and her mother lived. They already had evidence that he had abused her after she turned 12. Soto was 13 years old when she was reported missing on February 26th. Soto's mother told investigators that Stearns, who is her boyfriend, had dropped her off near Hunters Creek Middle School, but found out at dismissal that Soto had never made it. Investigators say evidence showed Soto was never dropped off at school. Stefan Stearns remains in jail on charges of sexual battery and child sex abuse material.
Listen, I know we could talk about this and wax essay, talk about it, ruminate over it, marinate on the conversation and all that. But at the end of the day, yes, it's still very, very possible that she didn't know until she knew. But then it's a possibility that could have been an apartment or a house of absolute horrors. That could be it too. I just still can't believe that I still can't believe we're even doing this live show on this subject matter. That's one piece I'm still trying to wrap my mind around, because it still breaks my heart, because there's a lot of it's more and more I start realizing that we have a lot of monsters hiding in plain sight. And a lot of times it's right there, like right in front of you. What also really blows my mind is that there are people out here that are willing to let it happen. Whether it be mental health, whether it just, well, clearly it lands on mental health, because who would allow anyone to do something like that to their own daughter for 2 years straight? Then when that little girl loses her life, you are covering up for the person that allegedly took her life. You're lying. You're saying this, that, and the third, trying to save that person's ass. You're hugging, caressing his shoulder, kissing his forehead, making it seem like he's just this innocent guy that just did a bad thing that one time. No, they took the life. Allegedly, he's the one who took the life of this young girl. Why is she holding and coddling this man like he got into a bad car accident or had a check bounce? Okay? It still just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay? It really doesn't. Hold on, I got a couple super chats. We're not done yet. We still got things to talk about and all that stuff. Honey Bunny, thank you so much for the 5. Pascal, that hat is reaching for the heavens, trying to escape his head. Yeah, I mean, shoot, even that hat, okay, doesn't even want to be in his presence, okay? Pig vomit is trash. All right. Darcy, thank you so much for the 5. I think mom is more involved than what people think. I agree as well. Now I'm at that place now where, like I said, people can change. Okay. Before I was like, I don't know about all that. She might just be a victim in this situation. Nah, I'm cutting that all the way out. I think she has something to do with this. That's now what I feel. Okay. This woman also, by the way, has gone to her social media. In fact, I need to pull that up. Let me see if I can find that. But if Facebook is working, right? But she's even changed her social media. She's changed her name into something else. Okay. Which is also really, really bad in my personal opinion. She may have even taken the whole thing down. I wouldn't be surprised if she's taken the social media down, because honestly, with the amount of people going in on her right now, yeah, it looks like she took it down. Damn. Yeah, she took that mother lover down, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like she took it down. I mean, unless somebody else sees it, because she changed it to like something, Solata, something weird, some name that was not Jennifer Soto, right? And she changed her name, and people were still going in on her. But on some real stuff, as soon as this stuff came out, where they're saying, hey, there's inconsistencies, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody and their mama was going in. Okay. Sailor Coda. Yes, Sailor Coda. Yes, let me check that. Let me see if it's still there. Sailor Coda. Let's see if she's crazy enough to keep this out. No. Sailor Coda. Yeah, she took it down. It looks like she took it down. And shoot, I would honestly, I would think you're even more insane to keep your Facebook up after everybody and their mama is finding out that you lied under oath. Okay, you have sworn testimony that you lied on. So no matter what, she's going to get charges for lying. Even if it was that she had nothing to do with her unaliving, nothing at all. She just knew about it and was just trying to give Pig Vomit some space to breathe. Doesn't matter. She could still get caught with a charge for just straight up lying under oath in her testimony, which is really bad. And it obviously looks really bad in the court of public opinion and in the public eye. That's bad. That's really bad. I wouldn't be surprised that Disney already fired her ass by now after hearing about all this. Do you think that you want somebody like that around the most wonderful place on earth for kids? Hell to the no. Hell no. Okay? Hell no. All right? Brenda said exactly, and then she will be faced with never being believed on. Anything else she says regarding this? Absolutely, I agree, Brenda. I mean, it's bad. Like I said, it's bad. Okay, but she done. She done. It's a wrap, son. It's a wrap. Even if she's out here and they set her free, okay. She gets out, like with a little slap on her wrist. Maybe she wasn't connected to this at all, but she was trying to help out her man. Doesn't matter. No one's going to hire her. She's going to have a hard time trying to find a job. Oh, gosh, she's going to have a hard time. Daily Devotions, thank you so much for the 5. I believe mom wanted her daughter gone because mom was jealous that Pig Vomit was intimate with her. And in fact, it also needs a little bit of this. Yeah. I'm feeling like it's down the route of jealousy. That's just what I'm feeling in my gut now. I even said that in the very beginning. Remember when we were first talking about this? And I was like, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be a good guy. But there's still this part of me that's like, I hate going out here and just throwing out crazy theories and speculations. But I even said, I was like, what are the chances of her either finding out that something was going on between them, or she just had something, and out of a jealous rage, something happened? What are the chances of that, right? And notice right now, if you really think about it, notice right now, no one's been charged with the demise, with an M charge in the unaliving of this 13-year-old girl. Think about that for a second. No one's been charged with that yet. Why? Again, why? Why hasn't anybody been charged with anything yet? I think 5-0 knows a lot more than what they're letting off. And I think she may have a hand in the unaliving of this young girl. Is it a jealous rage? I don't know. Is it over jealousy? I don't know. But it could also be that too. Something sinister this way comes. Trust and believe. Okay. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do, yes, Pig Vomit indeed. Indeed, pig vomit. Dude is trash. Trash. Okay? Full on trash. First off, I want to say thank you to all you guys, for being a part of the conversation, being a part of the show and all that. Of course, do not forget to hit that like button down below. Crush it, please, and thank you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. I'd love to see it get past 1K. We're almost there. Okay, so let's get it to 1K likes. It's easy. Helps with the show. Okay. But I am going to open up the phone lines. It is about that time. I want to hear your thoughts on all the new information that has come out. Okay. The fact that because I know some of you guys in the very beginning were saying, oh, yeah, she did. She lying. She straight up lying. Some of y'all are just as shocked as I am. Right. Because, we all try to err on the side of good versus evil. But nowadays, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Okay. It seems like more and more evil. Shoot, even with the Sebastian Rogers situation, they're now going into an investigation because they believe that there is foul play in that missing 15-year-old boy's case. That's crazy to me. And the fact that now we're all looking at parents, side-eyeing the parents now, thinking that they're all evil. It's messed up, it's sad, but still is a possibility that the parents have something to do with him missing. That's insane to me. Okay? But that's another case and another story that we're talking about. But give me a call. It's time for a little bit of a speak on it. Few simple rules. All right? Keep it short. Keep it sweet. All right? Keep it respectful. If you're an ass, I hang up on that ass. Simple as that. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Stormy from Dallas, Fort Worth.
Hey, Stormy. Thank you so much for calling. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
It's very personal. I've shared it in the chat. I haven't believed that mother since I saw her face.
Really?
When I was 9, my mother actually let her ex-husband rape me for 2 years.
Whoa.
And
oh my God,
would leave the house to give him opportunities to do so, or stay behind, or, she wouldn't act like she knew,
Right.
She still won't talk about it to this day. She will act like she doesn't know, and I don't have a relationship with her anymore. But
wow.
There are mothers out there like that, and it's very possible that she does know, and I believe that she knew.
So, Stormy, if you mind me asking, first off, thank you so much for being so open and telling us your story. And now I have to ask some questions, if that's okay. Can I ask you a few questions? Okay.
Yeah.
So, first off, I'm so sorry that happened to you. But how did you know? How did you know that your mom was basically allowing this type of monstrous behavior? How did you find out?
I didn't figure it out until I became an adult and I started piecing things together.
Wow.
When you get older, you start realizing things that you didn't know when you were a kid, because you're not supposed to know those things when you're a kid,
Right.
And I even asked her, I didn't tell her until I was, I think, 17 or 18. And she said, yeah, I figured something was going on. You were always distant as a child. That was her response.
Wow.
And nothing else. And she never said anything else about it again.
Wow.
I even went to the extent of breaking into one of my friends' house when she was out of town to get away from him. And I ended up getting caught, and I got in trouble for it.
So when you say you got caught and got in trouble for it, what do you mean by getting caught, and what do you mean by getting in trouble for it?
The parents came home and found me in their house.
I mean, were you charges were pressed or something like that, or?
No, they just brought me back to my house and told my mom and him, and I got punished for it.
And when you say punished, did it have anything to do with him, or was like you getting grounded or something like that?
It was physical.
By him?
Both.
Oh Lord, I am so sorry. So okay, where is this piece of trash now?
No idea.
Did they?
No idea. We ended up leaving. It's a long story, but I got a note from my school one day saying that I was talking too much, and she was like, I have to show him this right. And he got up and he just started beating the life out of me across the face with the belt and all this stuff. And
How old were you?
9. Well, at this
Oh.
point, I was 10.
Wow.
It started when I was 9.
Okay, so you were 9 years old. It started. So it started when you were 9. Say that again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
It started when I was
9, and then how long did it go for, if you mind me asking?
It went for about almost 2 years. So I was
Wow.
I was almost 11 when we left.
Almost 11 when you left. Okay, so explain leaving, because obviously he's not around you guys anymore.
Right.
So what made you guys leave? What was the reason why your mom left this trashy
The
person?
note from school
The note.
and him beating me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that moment was when she realized that was too much, or okay, this is a very
Mhm.
dangerous man.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, was your mom dealing with any type of abuse as well?
She was. Yes. Yeah, he also physically abused her as well.
Wow. So
So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into these type of things.
no doubt.
But
But and are you? I mean, do you still correspond? Do you still talk to your mother? I mean, what's your relationship like right
no,
now?
I do not.
Okay.
I have not seen or spoken to her in since 2009, 2010.
Wow.
I'm not very good with dates.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No matter what. I
But
mean,
yeah, as far as the mom goes, I think that she knew. You could tell the way that she's jittering, the way that she's looking away,
yeah,
the way that she's looking at him when she's trying to comfort him.
yeah.
There's just guilt all over her. And whether she allowed it to happen or she's in denial, she knew.
So for the 2 years that your mom was with, 3 years that your mom was with this man, why? Okay, because I'm sure you've had time to think about this, right? And you've had time to deal with this and all that, internally, personally, etc. Do you know any reason why she allowed it to continue to even happen and continue to happen? Did you ever think about maybe why on earth she allowed this to happen? Was it
I have no idea.
because I keep wondering, is it a mental health issue on that side,
I
or?
think maybe so. I think it's that. I think she was also young. I think that it was him. Men have a lot of hold over women that
Right.
aren't very strong mentally. Like I said, I think she also was in denial and she didn't know what to do. When we did leave, we had to get a lot of help, so I don't think she knew how to leave.
I see. Could you break that down for me a little bit? What kind of help? And I know she saw.
So when we left,
Yeah, go ahead.
so when we left, we actually went to a women's home, like for women and children, like a homeless shelter.
Right.
The cops set us up with that. And then she had to get help from agencies and whatnot to find a job and to find an apartment and, stuff like that.
Right. Okay. And thank God for those women's shelters and those type of organizations, because obviously I know that, I mean, even for everybody who's listening, who's watching the show right now, I mean, there are ways of getting out. I know it's not the easiest way or easiest thing to think of or easiest thing to do, but there are organizations out here, and it sounds like Stormy's mom was lucky enough to find that organization to help you and your mom seeking refuge somewhere, right? So
Right.
how long were you guys there for until you were able to?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I was so young.
Yeah.
Um, I really don't remember, and a lot of that I've tried to block out. Uh, it's just there was a lot that went on in my childhood that
Yeah.
is why I don't have a relationship with her now.
Understandable.
Yeah, but as far as that part goes, there are moms out there like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, clearly, I mean, we have done so many stories on this show, and it's getting
Mhm.
crazier and crazier. But I want to ask something about you, Stormy, if you don't
Mhm.
mind. How are you doing? How are you doing now?
I'm good. I've been suffering for a really long time. I've been on drugs. I've been an alcoholic. I'm clean and sober now. I'm almost 40 years old, and I've just now started. I've been in therapy for a month.
You just started
And
therapy.
therapy, yeah,
That's awesome.
it took me this long to start therapy.
No, that's beautiful though. I mean, hey, it's better late than never, right? I mean,
Right,
I know
right.
some people think therapy automatically means, oh, you crazy, that you just got issues and all that. And it doesn't automatically mean that. And it takes some time for us to go and seek those kinds of things. Sometimes it's just time, right? Um,
Yeah.
and so that's amazing that you are working those things out through therapy. Um, so what was the struggle then? I mean, as soon as you got away from your mother, okay, were able to live out on your own, what was the journey like before you got to therapy, if you mind me asking?
Um, just relationships, trust, things like that.
Hmm. How are relationships
It's
with
kind
other
of hard.
men?
Not very, not very good. But I have been married for almost 14 years,
That's great.
and that's been, yeah.
You found a good man.
But yeah, I did. But when I was younger, it was not very good.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
so you've been sober how long now?
um, I've been sober since 2015.
2000. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And this was from I guess, yeah, obviously that's
Af-
after meeting your now husband, right?
right. Well, we've been together since 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
So we both had some issues there, but we're able to overcome it.
Work it out. Yeah. No,
Yes.
I totally understand that. Um,
But all I gotta say to the moms out there, to the young moms out there, is don't just be so quick to trust men
mhm.
around your children, and that goes for men too. Don't be so quick to trust women around your children,
Absolutely.
because it doesn't matter how much they woo you or make you think that they can trust them. I don't. I just it's time to be a parent and not worry about your dating life so much.
Yes. And that I think that's absolutely great advice. I do have one last question for you. First off, I want to say thank you
Sure.
for even telling us your story, and telling us, how you've been able to transcend from everything. But and everybody in the chat, if you guys can, please put in a purple heart emoji, a whole bunch of purple hearts for Stormy, for being so brave in this conversation. But you never saw this man ever again. Were you ever able to try to press charges on this guy? Have you ever tried to see if, you know what I mean? To maybe get some justice
Um,
for yourself? I know that's a random question, but I'm just curious.
yeah, as I feel like as a female, it's kind of a hard decision. It's reliving it. It's seeing that person again. It's, do you want to go through all of that again? And it's been so long. Are they even going to do anything? Is there any proof? I mean, it's a lot that I've thought about, and I think it's a lot that goes into it that you probably don't think about.
No doubt.
When it comes to that. So I've tried to put him out of my mind in hopes that maybe he's been caught and he's done something else, because he's an awful person.
Yeah.
From what I remember, and I can just see him being in prison.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, that's my hopes, is that he's just in prison, locked away somewhere.
Yeah. I'm hoping. Yeah, but that's what I'm hoping for too. He's either in prison or he's probably in this at the bottom of the 7 layers of hell right now, in my personal opinion. Right.
Yeah.
And
it's not that I don't want to protect other kids from him, but it's, unless you're going through it, you know.
Yeah.
Unless you've gone through it, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
How you would deal with something like that.
Can I ask you one last question? I'm sorry. I know I said I
Yeah.
was gonna be done
You're
and
fine.
let you go, but okay, in this situation with Maddie, and in this disturbing situation, I'm wondering, in your situation, and I hate to take you back there, but did you ever say anything to your mom aside from, like later on in life? Was there ever anything during that time like, hey, mom, this piece of trash is doing this, this, and this, and this is not cool, or anything of that sort? Go ahead.
No, absolutely not. I was threatened.
So he said something
My
to you.
life was threatened and her life was threatened. So absolutely not. I did not.
I see. Yeah, I really hope he's burning in the fiery pits of hell right now. Stormy, listen, I appreciate you calling in. I think this is something that we all needed to hear, for real. And for those that are sort of in the middle,
I'm kind of quiet about it.
It's
I'm
okay.
a little shaky.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm telling you right now, the fact that you are still telling your story and we're able to call in on this show, and even though you are shaky and you feel like you're quiet, you are the loudest one in the room right now. And you are the strongest one and the bravest one in the room. And I want you to remember that every single time that you go into therapy, every single time that you talk about this, every time that you feel a little bit down about it, I just want to remind you how strong and brave you are, because you survived through that. You persevered through that, and you did that all on your own. You did that alone. And that says how strong you are as a human being. So I just want you to know that and remember that. And I want you to take that with you every time you feel a little low. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Stormy. Go ahead. What were we going to say?
No problem. I was just going to say I've been watching all the lives, and I've been in the chat, and I've seen everyone like, no, the mom, she couldn't have known. Why would someone, why would a mother? And, that's why I called, just to let everyone know. And I've even, heard you like, oh, the mother wouldn't, I couldn't imagine up until today, now you're like, oh yeah, the mom for sure. For sure. The moms definitely can just walk away and let it happen.
Right. No, you're right. You just don't think
men can be very intimidating.
The people can very much be very intimidating, and people can get finessed very easily.
Yes.
It's wild to think of how evil has so many different faces. It blows my mind every time I go live and I'm talking about something like a missing persons case or someone who loses their life, that kind of thing. It's just unbelievable how evil how evil wears many faces. And
they walk
sad.
Among us.
Yes, they walk among us for real.
And something else that was being said is, would you trust someone that looked like this around your kid?
Yeah.
Evil comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, forms. You know,
Yep.
it doesn't matter what they look like. They could look amazing
Absolutely.
and still be evil.
Absolutely.
So you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, you cannot. It's unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the same person that's smiling in your face is the one that's stabbing you in the back. So we just have to be safe
Absolutely.
out here. And so Stormy, please stay safe out here. Keep staying strong. Keep staying resilient, because you have definitely exercised and shown how resilient you are. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It really does mean a lot.
All right.
You stay
All
blessed.
right. You take care.
You
All
too.
right. Bye.
Bye. I think I'm done with the speak on it today. So I'm not keeping the phone lines open. It's over. I'm sorry. That one was enough. Okay. And I mean that in the best way possible. I think that that phone call with Stormy was definitely the best way to end speak on it, to even this whole thing. Again, for those of y'all who are out here, I want to remind you, one, I know that we hear this like on a PSA that you're not alone and all that, but you're not. You're really, really not. And there are organizations out here, just like Stormy said, that can help you or your loved ones get away from bad things, get you out of that house, etc. I know it may be uncomfortable, that thought, but they do exist. And I'd rather you be uncomfortable in a safe environment than be uncomfortable in a dangerous environment, right? So I just want to remind you guys of that, and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We hear Stormy calling in and saying what she endured, and the fact that she was alone, but she still was able to push forward. Okay, she's a loving mother, a loving wife. She has a beautiful family, sober, happy, seeking therapy, and that's an amazing thing. So I just want you guys to remember there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, not all of them end in such tragedy all the time. It may feel like at the moment that you're going in that moment of darkness, it may feel like there's no end to it, but there will be. You just got to keep pushing through, keep pedaling forward. I'm telling you right now, there is light at that end of the tunnel. Okay. Real quick, Nicole B, thank you so much for the 5. And yes, I know. Yes, I know. We're at 117,000 subscribers over here. But here's the thing. I mean, the show is built off of people like you, off of phone calls like Stormy's phone call. Okay. I'm not sitting here saying that we get those phone calls all the time, but they are welcome. Okay. They are always welcome. Because we need to hear the stories of perseverance. We do. And of course, if you just need a listening ear, I'm here too. Doesn't always have to be a story of triumph. If you just need a hand to guide you through a tough moment, that's why the phone line is around. That's why we have these Speak On It segments. Okay, it's more than just coming in and putting in your 2 cents in your opinion. It can also be a moment to just get something off your chest. It's okay. I welcome it. Okay. But I appreciate everybody who came in. Again, you guys are amazing. I appreciate that phone call from Stormy. It really does mean a lot. And again, not every story has to end like Maddie's. There are ways out. Remember that. There are ways out of it. Okay? There are definitely ways out. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. You guys are amazing. Seriously. You guys are dope. Thank you so much for the phone call. I know other people wanted to call in and put in their 2 cents, but I was like, we're going to end the show right there. Okay? Much needed conversation. All right? But again, thank you guys so much for being here, being a part of the conversation. Thank you so much for all the super chats, for the super stickers. Thank you to my mods, all the new members. Thank you guys so much for the support. We got a lot of conversation coming up here. Make sure you have that notification bell set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload. But before you head out, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Crush it, crush it, crush it, please. And thank you. All right. Crush that like button. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook. That would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. All right. We cover a lot of things on this show. And of course, if there's any more developing news about this situation, like this woman getting arrested or getting brought in, we're going to be talking about it. So make sure that notification bell is set to all, because I know whenever I go, it goes, whenever I upload or whenever I go live, it is random. So make sure you do that, okay? Go check out my Patreon, become a member by hitting that join button down below, or support over on my Patreon. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. And of course, do not forget to check out my merch page, pascalmerch.com. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets, so please be sure to check those things out and support if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful rest of your day if I don't see you. But I'm sure there's going to be some pop-ups and a live, I'm sure, a little bit later on this afternoon or this evening. So be on the lookout. Anyway, guys, have a great one. Stay strong out there. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.